What's the latest on the regularization of unlawfully converted political office contracts in the city of Joburg?
The decision as a whole was unlawfully taken by a mayoral committee that did not have the authority to take it.
The previous administration relied on policy that doesn't exist. That's according to the MMC of Group Corporate Insured Services, Leonot. In response to political office contracts they say were converted unlawfully.
Council is the highest decision-making body in the city. Obviously, we can't take decisions that are contrary to law or to the Constitution, but in essence, it's the highest authority.
Acting City Manager Mesuli Mlandu says the philosophy is simple. Political office staff is employed on a fixed-term basis and therefore have to vacate at the end of the political term. He issued a directive reversing the employment of 130 employees.
This starts with council refusing to accept that its policies could be violated, that the laws of the Republic could be violated, and the council then acts by rescinding these decisions that seems to be violating. And then on the basis of that rescission, then it means any permanency that would have been granted to you unlawfully, that permanency is removed by an act of rescission by the council itself. All that is left is your contract as it was before it was tainted by the purported permanency. So all that we're implementing here, we're saying, here is your contract, it's coming to an end, 30th of April, and work through your contract if you want to work through your contract. No one is blocking anybody to come to work. But then the processes that are normally followed when contracts come to an end must be followed, because there's no one who's permanent from an unlawful, improper and irregular act of permanency that was not supported by law or not supported by policy.
We, as the multi-party government, we have the residents' best interests at heart. Many of us, if not all of us, got into this job because we care about Joburg and we want to see it thrive and prosper. So we will always act in those interests. I know that we're not guilty of trying to target anyone. In fact, what we're trying to do is make sure that we have equality across the board, that political parties are properly represented, that residents get the services that they deliver, and the city doesn't become an employment agency for politicians that didn't make it into council.
We can't be worried when we are implementing lawful decisions of council. We could only be worried if we were acting contrary to those decisions. In actual fact, the people that should be worried are the ones who disregarded a policy of council, who disregarded the law, who disregarded the philosophy of employment in political offices and committed an irregular and unlawful act of conversion. Those are the ones who should be worried.
The MMC says the city does sympathize with the affected employees.
I mean, it's never nice when you are at the end of a process that was unlawfully brought into being. That's why we allowed them to engage with the city. We've also encouraged them to apply for permanent positions on the city's website. There are positions available there, and many of them will probably come back into the system through the new fixed-term contracts. A lot of political caucus officers rehire or reappoint people that were in those offices because they're valuable, and some employees actually transcend political parties, so they become invaluable to several different parties because of the way that they operate and the confidentiality that they exude.